I'm late, y'all. I'm late. The time is supposed to be wherever you live at. The time is that's what the time is. Robert Lynn Schultz was here. Nicolette Moore was here. I'm mad late. Yo. Yep, you're here. Go to bed. No, I'm just kidding. James Millage was good. No, I might do a live tomorrow, though I seriously doubt it. How y'all doing? How's my freedom marchers doing? It's Tyrus Bane. How y'all doing? It's Friday night, February 18th, 2021, or 2022, my bad. I had a long day. I started off with my workout this morning. Then I went to the chiropractor. Then we went to the zoo. I'm glad you're doing good, Cousin Kid channel. My stuff came on Thursday. The movers brought the rest of my stuff. So, I got more things for the gym set up. So I'm excited about that. I got my banana bag back there so I can really get into my low kicks. And I got my little dummy, my little punching dummy, and I got things going on here. Got things going on. How y'all doing though? I wanted to talk about really what this is about. Peace out, Cousin Kids channel. What this live stream is really about is consistency, okay? A consistent message. You got people on YouTube and you got other content creators who get into political topics. The fanboy Lucas. They get into political topics. They get into truther things and all that other stuff. Conspiracy theories and all that. But what I'm seeing a lot of is a lot of inconsistencies, right? In these people's viewpoints, in their perspectives. I'm seeing 1 minute they're saying this and 1 minute they're saying that. 1 minute they believe in freedom and the next minute they believe in fiat rule, all that type of shit. It boggles my mind. And these people have such a huge following that it's hard to put hope and faith into people that they wake the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Because they're so caught up in the cult of personality, they'll just go along with what their favorite content creator says, and it's just bullshit. It's just like, I don't get it. You don't see the inconsistencies in the contradictions in these people, and that includes the Clown Shoe Lucas, and many others, right? Tim Pool, and you can rattle the names off. There are very few consistent people in this space that are actually consistent in what they believe and what they say. I believe I'm one of those people. I've never strayed, I believe, from the message of freedom. You know what I'm saying? And it's pretty cut and dry and clear what freedom is. Freedom is do what you want to do as long as you're not harming someone else, as long as you're not violating someone else's rights to behave the way you want to behave. Even if you're doing something to yourself that others might feel is harmful.
What is the router, Marcus?
The router is it's in the living room.
It's in the living room?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yep.
I said it.
Okay. Yeah. What's up, DarkNite, Nebula, Jimmy Newman? I don't know if he got the pokey poke yet. I seriously doubt it. Yeah, Lucas is live right now talking about the Ken Potter sentencing. Yeah, I saw some of that live, and it was like a completely different person from yesterday, where he was on the phone with someone telling them that they don't have a right to privacy. It's not in the Constitution. This, that, and the third. Now he was probably just being an asshole and trolling the guy, right? Because he likes to do that. He likes to, when he wants to get into it with somebody, he'll completely turn his back on what he says his principles are, just to frame an argument to go at somebody. You know what I'm saying? And so, he's done that on a number of occasions. But this is my problem. Even if you feel like you want to be an asshole, why would you change why would you give a different impression of what your perspective is on a certain situation? Why not just be like, you know what? I believe in freedom, no matter what. Why tell someone, you don't have the right to privacy? It's not in the Constitution, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing, though, about the Constitution. First of all, it's a piece of paper. One should not rely on the Constitution to exercise one's freedoms and to, guard jealously their rights. Just because something that you consider a right is not in the Constitution doesn't mean that you don't have the freedom to exercise that right? Like the right to privacy. The word privacy might not be in there, but what does it say in the Fourth Amendment? It says to be secure in your person's, papers, houses, and effects. That's essentially privacy, right? But he likes to be pedantic when he wants to prove a point. And that's my problem. It's just nitpicking for bullshit. Let's not forget, in the Constitution, it says that there are rights that are not listed in this here piece of paper that you have, that, there are many number of rights that you have that aren't in the Constitution, and it's understood that you have those rights. That's what it says in the Constitution. So the word privacy doesn't necessarily have to be in the Constitution for one to understand, and it's common sense. You do have a right to privacy. I don't have to tell you what's going on with me, and I don't have to give you my personal business. So this is the thing that is the issue, right? And I just think it's retarded, so I felt like I wanted to come on here and use this as an example of how people are very inconsistent in their thinking. Just like, what's his name? Brandon Tatum. Brandon Tatum. Run around the whole country going to churches and going to whatever seminars he's doing, running around telling people, black people aren't oppressed in this country and all this other shit. But then you turn around and complain about your rights being violated or about human rights being violated during the pandemic. But then you'll also say at the same time or during the same times, black people aren't oppressed. So are you telling me that it's just when the rights of individuals are violated during the pandemic, black people aren't included? What do you mean? You know what I'm saying? These are things that confuse the fuck out of me about where the fuck they're coming from. And those are the people you want to watch. If people are inconsistent and continuously contradictory in their ideology, those are the people you want to steer away from. You want to fuck with consistent people that not only say things consistently, but also in their actions, you can see that they are consistent. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the type of shit that gets on my nerves. Would you vote for? No. I've never voted. I never had a desire to vote. Never had. At no point in time have I voted. Exactly. Javier Sane says it's all about narrative. Some narrative matter more than others. Absolutely. A Ken Potter situation is old, but the sentencing is not old. 2 years, a 2-year sentence, that's bullshit. Ending that dude's life the way she did, and she only got 2 years. Come on, that's definitely a weak ass sentence. You know, look what happened to Amber Geiger. She got 10 years for what I believe was murdering somebody in cold blood. You know what I'm saying? She got a hug from the judge and the Bible for her troubles and 10 years in prison. She should probably only do 5 years. Should probably only do 5 years. That's not enough. These people need to be punished for their actions, right? You can't just let these people get away with this shit. I remember last year in January 6th during the live, he said he wished he bought the ticket so he can beat Mitch McConnell up. Okay. The next day, he uploaded a video about Republicans went full R word. He's something else. Lucas Grifter and have worse self-awareness ever. He's not very self-aware at all. I assume Lucas is vacillated since he lived. Not necessarily, because I lived in California, and I wasn't vacillated. Especially, I don't think he has a job. You know. Let's see. All you're saying says, Officer Tatum flip-flops about the police issue after January 6th. Because he's inconsistent. So, what's her name? Got killed by the cop. What's her name that was climbing through the window? I forgot her name. Damn. She got She got killed by that police officer. He happened to be black, which probably made it easier for the Officer Tatum to be against him. But he, she was killed by a cop, and he didn't hesitate to say that she was wrongfully killed. But same thing happens to black people throughout the years. Oh, well, it's justified. It's justified. It's always going to be justified. I never take the Officer Tatum seriously when it comes to his judgment on whether or not a police shooting is justified. It's just, and I don't know why people do. He obviously has bias towards police officers. And for some reason, he didn't have that same bias for the police officer that shot old girl on January 6th. I forgot her name. I can't remember her name. Let's see. Not only that, Jimmy says, why haven't he called out Canada police arresting the truck? He ain't gonna touch that. He ain't gonna touch that because, again, it's about police officers, right? Because even though Justin Trudeau issued the orders, right? Declared the emergency, issued the orders, exercised his executive powers, that shit don't mean nothing without the police enforcing that shit. The police have to go out and make these arrests. The police have to go out and seize this and seize that. Law enforcement has to seize bank accounts in some form or fashion. Without these individuals going ahead and following these orders, it wouldn't mean nothing. And so, Brandon Tatum understands that. So that's why he's no longer going to be touching on that type of shit. Because that's what he understood when he was complaining about the mask mandates and the pokey mandates and all that other shit. He understands that the people that enforce that shit are his brothers in blue. They're the ones that are violating the rights of these individuals. And that's just the bottom line to it. I don't think him or ABL has touched on that. Tim Pool has. He's basically like, screw the police. I don't care nothing about what's going on with the police. He ain't got no sympathy for them. But, it's only because they, started violating the right. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, it is what it is. These people, they're all full of shit. There's very few consistent content creators in this space. They have some level of statism still in their mind. I don't understand. Excuse me. I don't understand how they can't see that. Even Braden from Langley Outdoors Academy. He did a video the other day. Now he's supposed to be pro 2A. He did a video the other day. He's talking about the hostage taker in, I think it was Texas, the guy that held hostages in the synagogue. Talked about how he was trying to get his hands on a machine gun and couldn't get it because the existing laws worked. You understand what I'm saying? He said it multiple times that gun control laws worked to stop this individual from getting a machine gun. But we don't know that because there are millions of machine guns on the streets that people can go get. That shit ain't fun. Listen, you can go get a machine gun if you really wanted to. It's just that this guy couldn't get it from the guy he bought the handgun from. He probably didn't have it like that. He probably didn't have the clout. But these criminals don't care about laws. But you're saying the law works? No, criminals are going to disobey the law and do what the fuck they want to do anyway, right? Or in this case, outlaws, not necessarily criminals. Selling a firearm that is prohibited by the government is not a crime. If you're selling it to an individual who wants to buy it, you're supplying the demand. And an individual who's buying it, he wants it. He's paying for it. He's not forcing someone to sell it to him. There's no crime in that. Now there's a crime in that individual goes out and kills somebody in cold blood, then you have the crime. But the actual transaction of the firearm sale is not a fucking crime. That's what we have to understand about this shit, because otherwise, it's a slippery slope. Y'all know what it is. Yeah, Ashley Babbitt. Thanks, Jimmy Newman. That's the old girl who got killed by the police officer on January 6th. Dark Nebula says, I'm white as hell, and I'm more empathetic and honest about black oppression in America than, like I said, people, you're not a YouTuber who has 1 point something million subscribers and 90% of them are white conservatives. That's just what it is. He's not going to be honest to certain degrees because he learned his lesson when Donald Trump signed that $6.2 trillion stimulus bill, and he got a little bit slizzard off that wine and complained about Donald Trump for about an hour and a half. And they got in his ass. And guess what? He came right back around and took that shit back. And he ain't never turned his back on Trump again. He ain't never stepped off the line. He ain't never crossed the line into realism. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I can't take him seriously anymore I just can't. Hell, Tatum even said, we don't have true freedom in America. We still have some corruption going on. But black people aren't oppressed. See what I'm saying? If everybody's oppressed, black people are oppressed, right? Unless you believe everyone but black people are oppressed, which is stupid. Why are we not oppressed if there's corruption in this country from the government officials? How are we not oppressed? Corruption breeds oppression, especially if you have corruption in the government. If you have corruption in the government, the people are going to suffer for that corruption. That is a level of oppression. Is it not? Taxation, without representation, the taxation is theft. So whatever they're doing to perpetuate their control, people are going to suffer for it. Every time the government does something, every time a government official picks up a fucking pen to write something down on a piece of paper, somebody's suffering for it. Believe that. The government can't do anything without fucking somebody over. They can't operate for 1/2 of a fucking second without fucking somebody over. That's the name of the game with the government. All right, let's see. If Tatum against black cops, perhaps he should expose himself. Oh, he'll never do that. He's too much of a narcissist. By the way, man, I know you went into military, but this guy on TikTok go by the name of Curious Comment. What? Wait. Curious Comment claiming he's a Marine. I'm seeing BS. I posted on the main server Discord. Javier DC is about to be next. Joe Biden lied to us. Ukraine, Russia situation. Hey, are you still invade Wednesday? Well, they're itching for another war. The government, they're itching for another war, man. These government contractors, the defense contractors, they get paid when war is cracking, But I think Russia and Ukraine is playing the U.S. That's what I think. I think they're playing the U.S. I think they're playing them. They're playing us, and we fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. And Joe Biden is mobilizing all these troops, wasting fucking taxpayer money as usual. They're just itching for war. But they're not going to get the kind of war they think they're going to get with Russia. I can tell you that right now. We don't want to go to war with Russia or China. We don't want to do that. Excuse me. Let's see. Back to a curious comment. Dude attacked me saying that not me on profile pics and saying he went to 9 different countries while he was a Marine. I told him to show the proof. He ignored it. I mean, he made funny, mocked you, dude isn't even the profile picture to begin with. Some guys lie about that. I mean, I don't see the point in lying about serving in the military. I don't see the point in lying about it. People can find out if they want to, if you really have. Javier Sain says socialists are going to argue with you since taxes are used for roads, schools, etc. Yeah. How much of those taxes are used for schools and roads? And do we really need the government to make schools and roads, to build schools and roads? No. If we're in a community, right? If every community is sovereign and they do what the fuck they want to do in their community, that community, the people in that community get together, and if they want to build a road, they can build a fucking road, right? They can build one. They can hire a private company to build one. They can put their money together in a voluntary fashion. Somebody can convince them, look, man, we need this road. It'll get us to point A. It'll get us here quicker. You know what I'm saying? It'll be easier on the vehicles because it's not all the dirt. Maybe we should, build this road here to make getting from one point to another easier. And then people can see the wisdom in that. Okay, let's put our money in and build this road. And then those who don't necessarily want to put their money in and they have the skills and the knowledge to build the road, excuse me, they can help build the road with their own hands. Even if you hire a private company, you can have a stipulation or something in the contract that says you have to hire labor from within the community. You know what I'm saying? It's simple. Listen, we can do that ourselves. And what kind, you know what I mean? Like, and we can get together with other communities and trade and barter and all this other shit. We can align with other countries and other states and other communities. It doesn't have to be chaos. But we don't need government for that. And that's not government. When you get together with people in a voluntary fashion, and you guys make things happen, and you have structure, and you have order, and you have, a system that doesn't have. See, people think to have a system is government. No, government means control. To govern, you're controlling something. You can have a system in a community, and you can have cultures and bylaws and all type of shit that people voluntarily participate in. And if you want to opt out, you can opt out. That's not control. Just like this group I'm a part of, that I'm not going to touch on too much until we start putting up content. It's a group that I voluntarily decided to become a part of. And then we're going to put together bylaws and all this type of shit. You know, create a system around this group so that when we build out, everybody knows what's up. You know, we have a mission statement, we have bylaws, all that type of shit, pay dues. But these are things that are going to be done voluntarily by the members. And if you don't want to do all that, then you don't have to be part of the group. See, that's the difference between something like that and the government. You can't opt out with the government. You can't opt out. Can't opt out. If you do, you're probably gonna be destitute. If you're not prepared to opt out, if you're not prepared to remove yourself from the government teat by having land and resources, then you're gonna be fucked. You know, you're gonna have very little resources. You're not gonna have help from the government. So, I mean, roads and schools, we can do that. We don't need government for that. That's what I understand. Those are people, they can't contemplate in their mind how they could survive without government. And that's something I believe that Brandon Tatum and people like Brandon Tatum, ABL, the amazing Lucas, Steven Crowder, all these people on the right and the left, definitely on the left, those people they can't even think about doing shit without the government. They love the government. They want the government to push their socialist ideology. So, some people just can't get with it. All right, to get this Russian bot out of here, I'm going to remove this motherfucker. Right here. Remove. And then I'm going to hide user on this channel. There we go. All right, Dark Nebula says, US is trying to be the hero by hyping up the conflict, then acting like we're the reason. That was probably part of the strategy in the first place. Look what we did. Look, the Biden administration made Russia back off. Oh, we scared Russia off. You know what I'm saying? It's a pretty smart strategy because people are going to believe it. That's just, unfortunately, people are going to believe it. Yeah, World War III ain't worth it. Sorry, Ukraine. Yeah, no. So, these countries, man, they don't have to handle their own shit. Real shit. Yeah, like a tribe, James Millich. Javier Saint says the government is taking the place of community and nuclear family. Some people see government as a religion. Yeah, well, some people do see government as a religion. They see the government as this anointed, being that they can't live without, and they need to bow down to them. You really don't need government. Real shit. I swear, you don't need them. You don't need the government. All you need is the people. All you need to do is get together with good people, form communities, build with good people. And that's what you need. Respect each other, respect each other's rights and all that other shit. It's simple. I don't understand it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand how it's simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. Jimmy Newman says, majority of people on TikTok act like we will win when I know for the majority of them are cowards if the war starts. Not only that, they're so delusional. I'm talking to my friend who is actual Army and Marine telling me it doesn't happen. Even if it did, they don't have confidentiality to win a war. First of all, I don't, when Russia invaded Afghanistan, we didn't send troops in Afghanistan to fight the Russians. What we did was we gave Afghanistan weapons and helped them, we trained them and helped them fight the Russians off. That's essentially what would happen, I believe, in Ukraine. I feel like they would do something like that rather than going toe to toe with Russian troops on the ground. I don't think they would do that. I think they would just, maybe train them, giving them weapons, give them some type of technological support. But I think sending the troops over there, to Europe, was just posturing. Like, is this waving a stick, just like the Russians waving a stick, doing those exercises that close to Ukraine. It's just dick measuring, essentially. That's what they're doing. There's nothing real that's going to come out of that. Ukraine and Russia are both mocking the United States government for their response. Like, y'all are taking this shit way out of proportion. And that's reality. They're taking it way out of proportion. So, I don't know, man. I just like some of the shit that the Amazing Lucas. He was talking that shit yesterday. All the privacy, there's no privacy, there's no right to privacy in the Constitution. It doesn't have to be. This is what we have to understand. The Constitution is not, it doesn't create rights. You understand? What it does is outline the government's limits to their power over the people, right? It's supposed to place limits on the federal government. That's what it does. It places limits on the federal government, and it makes certain things clear and other things ambiguous so that it can adapt with the times. That's what the point of the Constitution was. And that's why essentially it lasted so long. So like it said in the Constitution, and it said it for a reason, because people like the clown shoe Lucas, who wants to use it's not in the Constitution. It doesn't have to be. There are certain inalienable rights that people have that don't have to be enumerated in the Constitution itself. But there are certain crucial rights that are that people have that are in the Constitution that it makes very clear should not be violated, except for the Fourth Amendment when it says unreasonable search and seizures and without a warrant. They didn't have to throw that shit in there. What it should say is the rights of the people to be secure in their persons, papers, houses, and effects, period, against unreasonable search and seizures. Instead of unreasonable, just put searches and seizures. That's it. That's what it should say. And that's the problem I have with the Constitution, because even the Constitution is inconsistent. And that's why I don't rest on my laurels, and I don't hold the Constitution ain't a shield. And when you understand that, you can take that knowledge and slap people like the clown shoe Lucas upside the head with it. It doesn't have to say privacy. The word privacy doesn't have to be fucking in there. You have to have the common sense. But he knows this. He's just being intellectually dishonest. I guarantee you that. He knows better. Let's see. Javier Sane says it doesn't matter. American stick is getting smaller. Stick is getting smaller, and China's stick is getting bigger. Yeah, real shit. That's true. Jenny Miller says, like Snap, this isn't fantasy land where America is a savior. We live in an imperialist nation where our government only attacks weak countries for gain. Nothing good or heroic the state is doing over here. No, that's real shit. Nothing at all. Jimmy says, oh, I forgot to say, man, notice how all the squiggly bug issues have stopped. The most important, yeah. Listen, man, like I said, for the last 2 years, I've been telling y'all this shit is just out of control, the response to it. The, oh my God, essentially killed any level of, you know what I'm saying? Like, people ain't really fucking with it no more, man. Like I told y'all a few weeks ago, everyone was wearing face flags in South Carolina in the stores that I went to. Now, no one's thinking about that shit. No one's thinking about it because fuck it, right? The shit is done. It's a done data. It's a fucking done data. You know, it's so done. They're talking about super bugs. Oh, a super bug now. No, man, get the fuck out of here. There's always going to be potential for some shit to wipe out a few thousand, a few 100,000, or a couple million people. There's always, hell, there's a potential for something to wipe out the fucking entire human race. But to live in fear and to be locked down and to fuck with people's livelihoods and ways of life is fucked up. That's the biggest problem here. The supply chain, the fucking inflation, all that shit, you know, that's the real fucking pandemic. We have a pandemic of inflation right now. We have a pandemic of shortages that are manufactured. They're manufactured shortages. You understand? They're manufactured shortages. Joey B shut down oil production in the United States, then went over to fucking OPEC and begged them to produce more oil. But he did it for what? To save the fucking planet? And we produce 5% of the pollution? What? The way we've been doing shit, the way that vehicles are made now, with the scrubbers and shit that put out less CO2 and all that other shit, the hybrids and all, like, look, we're not even, listen, and then they cow farts and burgers, you eat a burger and you don't know, fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. Animals have been eating animals since the beginning of time. You understand what I'm saying? Now they're talking about CO2 capture. Oh, let's capture the CO2. You know what? In South Carolina, we have plenty of CO2 capturing motherfucking fixtures, okay? They're called trees. Everywhere, fucking trees. Everywhere is a fucking tree. Oh, look, a CO2 capture fucking device. It's called a fucking tree. It's a fucking pine tree. The millions of them, millions. Everywhere you go, you see fucking trees. You see fucking trees. And there's no fucking emission laws out here like there are in California. But why isn't the air all fucked up here? They don't regulate that type of shit. There's no fucking smog checks. Why the fuck are we not fucking dying? Why am I not dead right now of CO2 fucking poisoning? Because of fucking trees. Because of trees. And the technology that they use to build cars now. The catalytic converters and all this other type of shit, the exhaust systems in these vehicles, they're fucking pretty good. Especially like Toyota and all these other the flex fuel that GMC is using. Like they're innovating and inventing ways to reduce the amount of CO2 that is produced. You know, they want to take trillions of our money to build capture stations, CO2 capture stations. Well, plant some fucking trees. Plant some fucking trees. How about that? Knock down some of these fucking government buildings and plant some trees there. Knock down some government buildings. Plant some trees. Oh, these people are fucking idiots. Speaking of Afghan, time to move on with the next fear campaign. Yep. I think we're getting to the point now. I'm talking about the people. Us as a people. I think we're getting to a point now where the government done cried wolf too many times, and we're like, okay, we don't believe you. You need more people. We're tired of fucking this inflation. We're tired of the lockdowns. We're tired of this. We're tired of the face flags mandates. We're tired of the hokey pokey mandates. We're tired of all that shit. What you got now? And then the Russian thing happens, and we're not panicking over that. We're supposed to jump out of our seats and fuck, oh, government, please help us. It has nothing to do with us. Even if fucking Russia did invade Ukraine, it has nothing to fucking do with us. Nothing. So what? I'm sorry. But Ukraine needs to fucking stand on their nuts and fucking defend themselves. No one's gonna, let me tell you something. If a enemy country decided to invade the United States, no one's coming to help us. No one is coming to help the United States. Not even the UK, not even Ireland, not even fucking Israel, not even motherfucking Australia. These motherfuckers ain't, hell, Mexico and Canada ain't coming to help. Well, Canada might come help because they have interest in us, our existence. We pretty much hold them up to a certain degree. They get a lot of trade from us. They get a lot of things products from us, just because of the climate that they exist in. You know, it gets super cold. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. Motherfuckers ain't coming to help us. Shit. Javier San says, only college kids and rich, smug liberals that drive Prius care about the... Well, I care about the environment. I just don't think that it's as bad as they're saying it is. Or that our contribution to how bad it is as big as it is. Because it's not. It's not. We're not contributing to even a tenth of the fucking pollution that exists. No, it's just not. We're not. Let's see. People are too lazy to plant trees. They rather have the government do it for them. You know, that's just what it is. That's real shit. No, NATO won't give us shit. NATO will probably invade us before any other country would. NATO, I'll say it again. NATO would probably invade us before another country would. They're not fucking helping us either. You're absolutely right. All right. It's been good. I think I'm gonna get off this live stream. I'm getting sleepy. You know, I'm getting sleepy and I need to shave. And yeah, I get to sleep in a little bit tomorrow though, so that's good. And I start work on Monday, so that's gonna be fun. My first day of work in South Carolina is on Monday, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, let's go. I got y'all. I appreciate y'all coming through for the live stream. Thank you for coming to check out my Shadow Band channel and hear my rants. You know what I'm saying? And rolling with your boy. You know, it's been fun. But Faith is Me Speak says, hold on. People don't care about the environment as much as they think. Have they forgotten about conserving and wasting less? No, they haven't. Faith in Me Speak says, no one factors in how much the governments are geoengineering all the weather and everything else. No, they're not factoring that in. Not even a little bit. Oh, thanks, Dark Nebula. James says, thanks. You're welcome. But, you know, listen, just pay attention to these people, man. They're so inconsistent. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll highlight channels that are consistent. All three of them. You feel me? So we'll see what happens, man. Much love, like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. Y'all stay up. Go out there and exercise. Make sure y'all get fit. Make sure y'all get mentally fit, get physically fit. You know what I'm saying? Go out there and spar. If you ain't learned how to, if you're not out there training in combat sports, I suggest y'all take it up. Get your children in it. I know y'all want to put them in baseball and basketball and all that shit, but I think it's better to spend their time doing functional fitness. And so that's just my advice. That's what I'm doing with my kids. It is what it is. Faith and Me Speak says, you're turning 63 tomorrow? Well, happy early birthday to you. If I don't see you tomorrow or, do a live stream tomorrow where you can join, happy birthday to you. You've hit it, you in your 60s, you're doing pretty well. All right, much love, and remember, let's keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.